Hi there and welcome to episode 7 of the England Golf Podcast. My name's Ian McFarland. Thanks for joining me as we take another look behind the scenes of the English amateur and club game. We'll be talking junior participation with England Golf's Lauren Spray, one of the driving forces behind the incredible success story that is Girls Golf Rocks. We also tap into the mercurial mind of Graham Walker, one of the world's top short game coaches. Hear how Graham helped Tommy Fleetwood and Danny Willett make the top of the tree, his work with current English amateur players, and how his own fear of a fresh air shot when teeing it up at an Open Championship helped him become the coach he is today. One of the emerging talents in English boys golf, Will Horne, helps us preview the groundbreaking English U18 Championship for boys and girls at Farnham Golf Club. And we also look back at the England Golf Awards with host for the night Naga Munchetty, and also discover how the broadcaster will destroy anyone who thinks they can beat her at match play. First up though, let's find out more about how an ambitious project to get more girls into golf has developed in just 6 short years to become one of the most popular programmes on the golfing calendar. Girls Golf Rocks is back for 2021 and coming to a golf club near you. The largest girls participation programme in the country started from humble beginnings 5 years ago, but has now become established as one of the best junior programmes around. Aimed at beginner girls aged between 5 to 18, Girls Golf Rocks promotes the sport as a fun activity, played in a safe environment and led by PGA coaches, and is run jointly by England Golf and the Golf Foundation. This year over 200 clubs in all 35 counties in England are involved in rolling out the programme. And here to tell us more about the idea behind Girls Golf Rocks and what lies in store for the year ahead is England Golf's Women and Girls in Golf manager, Lauren Spray. Lauren, thanks for joining us. For those who have never heard of Girls Golf Rocks before, can you just give us a flavour of the programme and the aims behind it?
Yeah, no problem. Thanks very much for having me, Ian. So it's all about addressing the disparity between girls and boys golf participation. As we know, on average, there's only about 2 girls per golf club, so we need to really address that balance and make sure that girls know that there is an option to come and play golf and get involved with one of our clubs.
Now, it had to be cancelled last year, unfortunately, because of COVID, but all that seems to have done is meant that you've attacked this with double the energy that you would have done otherwise. So what can we look forward to in 2021?
So yeah, the sessions are starting from now really. Bookings are online, people can get involved from now onwards, and it's going to run through till October. So lots of opportunity, whether that's a taster session that's free for girls to have a go for roughly about an hour to see if they enjoy the sport, and then there's the 6 weeks coaching block that takes place after that. So lots of opportunities up and down the country, and it's all just about getting that first experience of golf, so learning the basics, and on the final session you actually get to go out on the golf course as well. So it's a great opportunity to practice and take those skills out and play a golf hole as well, which is ultimately us out on the golf course and playing and enjoying it.
Yeah, quite right too. Just over the years since it started in 2016, just how many girls have been introduced to golf through this programme?
Oh, it's well over 5,000 girls now. It's doing really, really well. We're looking to try and address or try and engage at least 3,000 girls for this year's programme. So with this one obviously being the most clubs that we've had involved, it's a great opportunity to really try and make an even bigger opportunity to do so.
Now, as well as PGA professionals being involved in introducing the girls to the game, I think a key part of the programme, if I'm right, is the fact that there's golf club members, junior girl golf club members are also involved in the programme to kind of help as role models. I seem to remember Lily May Humphreys, one of our elite amateurs, served as a kind of role model in years gone by. Is that something that you're carrying on for this year?
Yes, it's a very important element to the programme as having our Girls Golf Rocks ambassadors. So we try to recruit some girls from the golf clubs who act as those peer role models. So somebody that is already playing, or they might have actually already been a previous Girls Golf Rocks participant themselves and they're now giving back to the sport, which is fantastic. When we first launched the programme back in 2015 in Essex, Lily May was part of the actual original girls county squad who we used to consult with to come up with a name for the programme, the design of the logo, everything. It was very much, even down to the colouring, has been purple from the start based on the feedback that those girls in Essex gave us. So it's been very much a girls' programme designed by girls for girls. So really proud of that as well. And I think it's stood it in good stead, really, because 5 years down the line, we're still successfully recruiting new girls to the sport.
Yeah. And it's not just for daughters or granddaughters of golf club members. It's open to anybody. So if people see the advert for Girls Golf Rocks and have had no previous links to golf clubs, they can still enrol their daughter, granddaughter, their next door neighbour's daughter, whoever it happens to be. They can all join in the scheme.
Absolutely, and you bring a friend along too. If they haven't heard about it, get them to come along too. And I think it's a great way. If you want to try a new sport, try a new skill that isn't usually part of like what you do at school sports and stuff. It's a great way of doing something as an individual sport as well, but there's a great social environment as well that comes along with golf. So lots of time to chat, lots of time to measure your own goals and objectives as well, but equally just go and have fun and socialise.
Now, little birdie tells me that you're quite good at golf yourself, but I mean, Girls Golf Rocks didn't exist when you were coming through the ranks as a junior, Lauren, but something like this, do you think would have helped boost numbers? Because traditionally golf clubs do suffer from a lack of junior girls as part of their membership, don't they?
Yeah, I don't know who that little birdie was, so I'm going to have to try and find out who that was. No, definitely wasn't around when I first started, and I don't come from a golfing background of a family either. My uncle plays, but my mum and dad don't. Well, they do now. I think dad's probably the golfing widow of the family, really, as mum plays more than dad. But yeah, for me, I think looking back, I really enjoyed my time as a junior. I was lucky that I had a really great junior section that I got brought up in, great junior organiser and some really, really good guys around me who really pushed me and supported me. And I think looking back at my junior experience, I was very fortunate. But it would have been great to be able to go and enjoy that more with some more girls. And I think once I got into this county squads, I realised that there were actually more girls starting to play. And I think creating those girls hub clubs essentially was what we're trying to do with Girls Golf Rocks is the way to show that girls play golf too, and we can beat those boys as well, which is always good fun to do.
Yeah, because it can be intimidating, can't it? If you're a young girl and you're thrown into an environment that you're not comfortable in, it's very difficult to settle, which is why a programme like this, if you're going with 2 or 3 of your school friends or people from your neighbourhood, it just brings that familiarity to it, and with the emphasis being on fun rather than coaching, it's very much an introductory package, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think it doesn't matter if you've been to the driving range a few times and you might have been with your mum, your dad, or a family member or your neighbour. It's just a great way of getting together, like you say, with other girls who are all the same sort of level of golf, whether they've picked up a club previously or never before. And equally, if you do have friends or if you turn up on your own, they're all in the same position. So it's a great way to make new friends. I definitely have my golf girlfriends as well, and I think they're a really valued group of girls that I love playing with. And I think it's just with getting golf out into the girls' mainstream sport will be a great way to sort of showcase you learn fantastic values, and you have to converse with lots of different age groups as well through golf, which I think is a really good grounding for a lot of people too. So I think from a parent's perspective, it's a great safe environment for girls to get involved in, and as well for themselves to also blossom as well. Yeah.
So tell us, how do we get involved in Girls Golf Rocks? What's the website address? How can people find out where the local club to them is for this programme?
Cool. So you just need to go onto Google and type in girlsgolfrocks.org, and you'll be able to find the Girls Golf Rocks website, and then you can search via your postcode or local area to find what's your local golf club. Have a look through. There'll be either some taster sessions and coaching courses available at each facility. And then, just get yourself booked online. Sessions cost £35 for the 6 weeks. The girls get a goodie bag, which includes a polo shirt, a water bottle and a little bag. And then the ambassadors as well will also be on those sessions. You'll recognise those because they'll be in a purple Girls Golf Rocks polo shirt with ambassador written on. So hopefully they'll be greeting you with a big smiley face, as well as your PGA professional as well at the facility. So there'll be lots of people there, I'm sure, to welcome you. And it'll be great to have as many girls come down to those sessions throughout the rest of the season.
Sounds good, Lauren. Thanks for filling us in on Girls Golf Rocks. It promises to be a busy summer of events. And just to recap, www.girlsgolfrocks.org is the place to find out all the details.
Thanks, Ian.
Now, if you watch television pictures of Tommy Fleetwood preparing for the final round of the 2019 Open at Royal Portrush, or this year's Masters at Augusta, there was one figure lurking in the background at practice. Graham Walker helped Tommy as an England boys international. The duo still work together to this day. Graham tells it straight, Tommy hits it straight. It's a winning partnership. As a player in his own right, Graham was more than decent. An appearance in the 1982 Open at Troon bears testimony to that. But as a short game coach, Graham is one of the most important cogs in the England golf machinery. His attention to detail, his knowledge, and that uncanny ability to bring out the best in players makes him an invaluable asset to the setup. I recently sat down with Graham at Woodall Spa, the home of England golf, to discover more about the man and his methods.
Graham, thanks for welcoming us into your office. Guess this is where the magic happens.
It's part of where it happens. Lovely place, Woodall Spa, beautiful place to come. Quiet. Obviously, we're redoing the short game area as well, so the facilities are getting better and better by the day. Looking forward to the summer and then the winter ahead from there. Yeah.
Just to paint a picture for people who are listening in, we're in the driving bay at Woodall Spa down at the National Performance Centre. I guess this is where you call home, isn't it?
It's where I spend about a third or a little bit more of my life, maybe half of it. It's a place I've been coming to now for sort of maybe 20 years. So it is probably home, yeah. As I was saying earlier, I drive down here. I know the way down here. My mind does drift at times as to how I'm going to sort of plan the day ahead and the people I've got in front of me. And I try and make it interesting when they sort of come along and make coaching interesting. With the facilities that are here, it's easier because the facilities are very good. So you've got a varied, you've got a flat putting green, you've got an undulating putting green. As I said, we've got the new short game park coming in. The short game area there's a lot of slopes, a lot of interest. We've got some more rough up there as well now. Plenty of bunkering, plenty of shots on the fairway. For the players coming, they've got plenty of good facilities that they can enjoy. Yeah. So it's a nice office.
Now, you're many things to many people in the world of golf, but for us here at England Golf, you bring your short game knowledge to help with the men's squad. Is it a particular source of pride for you to be involved working with your country? Because it is something that is unusual in the world of golf. Not many people get to do that.
I remember meeting up with Nigel Edwards, who's now performance director, I'm going to say.
Yeah, that's it.
To get it right, I'm spoken with his title is. When we were in South Africa, Nigel actually won the South African Amateur, and he tells me about it many times, and we've beaten the final, etc. And I remember asking him to write me I did my APAL for my Master Professional status for the PGA. And I asked Nigel if he'd write a few words for me, and he kindly did. And what he actually he wrote was a few things, but he wrote about my passion for my country. And as I read the letter, you start to realise what passion you have for the lads to do well, to play well, to represent the country. And I actually said to him the other day about wearing kit. We were talking about wearing kit. And I said to him, well, Nigel, said, as a proud Welshman, if you can wear the English kit, I'm sure a lot of other England lads can wear the kit as well. So we often talk about pride, pride in performance. Like the European Championships, we've had 3 second place finishes in recent years. We won it a few years ago as well. And the pride in preparing a team in very, very different sort of circumstances, very, very different players, different backgrounds, different ways of getting to the squad, different. You learn so much about yourself and about other people and about man management as well. And a lot of it is that, you're managing people as well as trying to manage their golf games.
Yeah. You're a renowned coach on the European tour with some of the biggest players. Tommy Fleetwood, obviously, reached top 10 in the world thanks in no short measure to your skills and expertise in the short game. But when you're working with these top amateurs and you go to a European Championships or a home internationals and you win it, does that mean as much to you as anything that a Tommy Fleetwood or a Paul Waring or a Danny Willett would achieve in their career?
Winning's winning. Winning's a great habit. Winning's a habit that you want all those players that are coming in to sort of develop. What it takes to win. So whether it be I remember, Tommy was 100 and something in the world, I think, when we first started working together. He managed to get up in the top 10. He's 20 something now, but hanging around that top 50 in the world. I don't want him to go to 50. I don't want him to move the other way. But Tommy's is slightly different in that, and I say this to him openly. He gives you patience. He gives you time. He's a very patient individual. He gives you time to watch him play as well. Watch him play, watch him practice, observe what he's doing. And he knows that then that gives you a better opportunity of helping him as well, because you've actually been able to see him with a Paul Waring. Same thing, when he came through all the sort of the squads, managing to watch Paul and then Dave Horsey coached for a while. Dave went on and won a couple of times when I was teaching him out on tour. And then Willett, massive work ethic, very, very strong individual. I better not say too much about the conversation we used to have, but he could swear a little bit as well. And he used to ask me if I knew the answer to some of the questions that I asked him. Did I know, what he should be working at? And if I said yeah, he used to say, well, let's just get on and do it. So he had a lot of trust.
You of course, first started working with Tommy through England Golf with the boys squad. So when you see a player like that who starts off as an elite amateur, but you can never be sure that they're actually going to make the very top of the game. When you see somebody like that progress through from England Golf ranks onto tour, winning European Tour, top 10 in the world, threatening in majors, being a Ryder Cup legend now, how does that make you feel that you've played a part in that journey?
We were doing some stuff recently on his short game, and when he first came along, I spoke to him about having 4 or 5 shots, minimum 4 or 5 short game shots, and a maximum of about maybe 10 or 12. And now he's got 13 short game shots that he can execute. He's not just got 4, but he had I did a little thing about that. I was trying to get him to become more expansive when he was in the squads, and we were at Arcos Gardens of that. And I've actually got a video of it. And I said to him, "Do you remember when we did this thing and that we named it Tommy's 20?" And I got him to hit 20 different shots around the greens, different clubs, different shots. And he said, "Yeah," he said, "and I've still got the notes from that day." So he's still got it.
Still using that knowledge. 10 of the 12 players that are involved in this year's Walker Cup are English, which shows the strength and depth of the English game at the moment. Going forward, the guys that are here, your Joe Long, the amateur champion, your Ben Schmitz, I could rattle off another half a dozen names. Just how well placed are these guys to go and make that next step?
They're well placed. One of the conversations I have with Nigel and with Gareth as well is what happens when players turn pro younger and younger and younger is they don't always get exposure to what is really good until they get out on tour at times, and you need some of your best players to hang around a little bit so that the players coming through actually see what good is. Within how well placed are they? If you think of what England Golf's done in the last few years, we've sent 4 players to Australia, 4 players to South Africa. For a month at a time playing tournaments, we've sent players into France, Gibraltar, and represented England there. I think out to sort of South America as well. We've sent players there. We support players as well at home internationals, European Team Championships. We finished runner-up in the Worlds a few years ago, and they were 3 players that hadn't been to America. They were homegrown players, but we had the British Amateur Champion, we had the Brabazon Champion, and I think we had the European Amateur Champion in that team. So, we help them to experience these things. Some players absolutely grab it and run with it, and 1 or 2 players get there and sort of almost have a hands-off approach where I'm really good now, so just be careful what you say, and others are just get their hands up and just go on and work and work hard. So again, different individuals. So there's not just one fits all, and I think that's a good thing about what we have within the squad thing. It's not a one fits all. You must do this, or you must do that, or you must do the other. We try and let the individual come into it, then try and support the individual as well best we can.
Club golfers are always focused on hitting the ball miles. They see the pros do it on the TV and they want to smash it 300 yards. But you're a renowned short game coach. You've carved that niche for yourself, and the short game, as we all know, is absolutely crucial. Should club golfers spend more time around the chipping green and the putting green than on the range trying to smash it into orbit? Well,
we developed the short game area at the Oaks. With young Ed and the greenkeepers, they built it and we developed it, and it's getting more use now than I've ever seen it get. Unfortunately, we get a few more pitch marks on it as well, but they should. I normally sort of say in thirds or quarters. A third of the time on your short game when you put in, a third of the time on your golf swing, and a third of the time hitting shots that you're going to need for the golf course. Or sometimes in quarters, quarter of the time on the putting, quarter of the time on the short game, quarter of the time on your golf swing, quarter of the time on the golf course. So, what a lot of people don't do though is they don't necessarily practice it well enough. And some of the things that we've done over the years is put them little practice plans in there. And one of the girls who I teach now. She's if you say, right, you need to practice from this point here or this place here or that there, and then I just look around the corner of the academy at times, she walks to that precise point and does it. So there are some people who listen intently and listen intently and then go and do it, and then there's others who just want to just chip it a little bit better. But yeah, they should spend a lot more time. But on that point, I got a lot of the short game work because I wouldn't let people hit it further until they could hold it from 6 feet, and then chip it 6 feet, and then chip it 6 yards, and then hit it 60 yards. So I used to make them be able to be proficient at the short shots before they move on to the long stuff. So probably how I got started in a lot of the short game stuff.
Now, in your younger days, Graham, when you worked at Hillsborough Golf Club, Chesterfield Golf Club, you were an aspiring player yourself. You were a talented player. Did you have ambitions to to make it on tour? I mean, you played in an Open Championship in
I did.
1982, shall I mention the year?
I was only a young lad, about 10. I did play the Open. I finished runner-up in British Assistants, won regionally, all that sort of stuff. Played Safari Tour through Africa. I thought I was going to be, definitely thought I was going to be a good player. And I wasn't bad in that respect, but when I was younger, coaching was slightly different. If people knew things, they didn't necessarily tell you what they knew. A lot of coaches, a lot of players used to keep it to themselves, and I openly say now, I wish when I was younger, some of the people who I knew would have told me some of the things that I'm telling the players now, and I would have made use of them. But I love playing. I used to love playing golf. And I remember how nervous I was on the first tee of the Open. I can remember it now, and I remember trying to ground the club behind the ball, and I couldn't get the club on the floor properly. And then I had another go, and I couldn't get the floor. And then I just thought, I'm just going to have to take it away. And at that moment in time, I was that nervous. It wouldn't have surprised me if I'd have missed it. It was sort of, I looked up and thought, and then that made me realise how nervous you could be and still play well. So it was a great lesson for me. I couldn't believe you could be that nervous and still be able to hit a golf ball.
Playing or teaching, what do you prefer?
Now, I had sadly passed away an old friend of mine called Clive Baker, and he used to run the Sheffield Wednesday Football Academy. And I credited Clive with sort of teaching me a lot about man management, really. He was very good at managing people, managing young players as well. He was very good at, very, very respectful when he was talking to them. And he came to me one day, and he must have thought that I was going to do more teaching than I was playing. So I was at that little time in my life when I was just sort of turning over from playing to teaching. And he said, "You know what, son?" He's got me son, I wasn't his son. "You know what, son?" He said, "Coaching is having other people's fun. Enjoy it." And I thought, well, what a great little... So I just try and have other people's fun, to sort of, if they're doing well, I try and sort of tag along and enjoy taking part in it, really.
One of the big signs down here says risk winning, which is...
It's one of Nigel's.
Which is not a bad mantra to have. You've got to be brave enough to take on that shot to win the match, to win the title at the end of the day, haven't you?
Yeah, and that's that thing about saying about Tommy's 20 or Danny's dozen or whatever it would be. However we sort of framed it at the time. Encourage them to just get out of their comfort zone a little bit, and try a few things. One of the things I would find at times, if I was experimenting with shots, I'd sometimes go on the short game area at the Oaks and I hit a few shots, and then somebody will watch what I'm doing, and I think, I should really just try and hit a good shot here because I don't want them to see I could hit a bad shot. But go and experiment and take yourself out of the comfort zone. And I say to players nearly every day, look, I don't mind if you hit a bad shot. I've no problem with bad golf shots. But you do have to, the risk winning is a great one, what Nigel has.
Well, it's worked down the years so far, Graham, and long may that continue. Thanks for your time.
You're welcome.
And,
thanks very much.
Good luck for the season.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Now, one of the most eagerly anticipated events on the English golf schedule for 2021 is just around the corner. The English U18 Championship, being held at Farnham Golf Club between the 25th and 27th of June, is a unique event where boys and girls will compete for a single trophy, winner takes all. One of the main contenders is England boys international Will Horne, and the Essex golfer goes into the event in a bit of form. At a recent gathering of the boys' squad at Woodhall Spa, 2 consecutive rounds of 68 on the Bracken course allowed Will to win the in-house Invitational. During a break in play, Will took time to speak to me about his hopes for the season and the prospect of boys versus girls down at Farnham. Okay, well, we're looking forward to the season, and one of the main events, one of the early events in the season, is the mixed gender under-18s championship at Farnham, girls versus boys. From your perspective, is it something you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic idea bringing the two genders together, and I think I'm looking forward to it. It's on a great golf course, it's going to be a great competition. So yeah, really looking forward to it.
It's a kind of unique concept that's never been tried before. Is it something that appeals to the players?
Yeah, I think so. I think because it's unique and it's a new event, everyone's wanting to get stuck in and try it and see what happens. So, yeah.
And healthy competition, because the boys want to beat the girls and the girls want to beat the boys.
Well, there's going to be a lot of competition, isn't there? Yeah, we don't want to lose either side. So, yeah.
I mean, when you play junior level at clubs, you sometimes play perhaps mixed medals depending on the size of the junior membership, but a competition like this is unusual.
Well, I've never really had to play against another gender, so yeah, it's a different concept, but again, it's a big competition, so it'll be good fun.
And is Farnham Golf Club a place you know? Have you played there before?
I've only seen pictures and it looks immaculate, so yeah, I'm looking forward to going.
In terms of the season, Will, you're in the England boys squad for the season ahead after your performances last year. What are you hoping to gain from this year?
My biggest goal is to get an England cap, and every tournament I'm going to, I'm trying to claim a top spot to just make myself look better and more competitive for those England events. So yeah, that's the biggest goal.
You obviously had a decent season last season, even though it was cut short because of COVID. What kind of confidence do you take into this year? Did the call up for England give you a shot in the arm?
Yeah, it sort of provided me with the confidence that I can compete with these guys at that level, and I feel like it's definitely carried through to this season. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to keeping going and competing.
Golf is an individual sport, but when you come together with England, it becomes a team event. Is that something that gives you a source of pride to represent your country?
Yeah.
Does it still mean a lot when you play an individual sport such as this?
It means a massive deal to me to represent my country. Although it's a team event, it's a competition nonetheless, so just getting stuck in and doing everything you can to provide a point for the home side is all you want, really.
And when you play against the other boys in the squad week in, week out, and you're trying to beat them, is it odd coming together and teaming up?
It is a little bit, yeah, but I think because we play so much golf together, it's sort of just we're a great group of friends, so it's just good to play with each other all the time.
What are your own individual ambitions for this season? What have you targeted?
For this season, well, as I said, England cap, trying to capitalise on where last year I left off in the Caris after round one. Hopefully I can get more of a top spot on there. I'd like to win a Faldo again. The grand final got called off, but I qualified for that, so I need to re-qualify. But it's mainly just getting as many high positions in tournaments as I can.
You mentioned the Caris there, and you obviously had a terrific start to that event, even though it was cut short by the weather. Did that give you a real boost? Was that a kind of turning point? Do you feel that you competed against the best boys in England and thought, I belong in this company?
Well, I think going into that as well, I was playing good golf and I felt I could compete, and that was just the icing on the cake, telling me that, yeah, you're right up there with everyone. So yeah, good bit of confidence that.
Excellent. Good luck for the season, Will. Good luck for the under-18s at Farnham, and we'll see who comes out on top, boys or girls.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Now let's have a look at the news in and around England golf, and the focus this month is very much on winners. Callum Barrow and Jack Cope, two members of the England men's squad, were able to taste success north of the border. Callum, a member at Royal Lytham and St Anne's, was crowned Scottish Men's Open Stroke Play champion at Southern Ness Golf Club. Jack, meanwhile, enjoyed a win he'll never forget at the home of golf. The reigning English amateur champion won a three-man playoff for the St Andrews Links Trophy by driving the 18th green on the old course and two-putting for birdie to see off his rivals, including fellow England international Robin Tiger Williams. Now, he may be a veteran when compared to Callan and Jack, but Rupert Kellogg proved that olden is golden when he successfully defended his senior men's amateur stroke play title at Blackmoor and Army Golf Clubs. The 60-year-old from Sunningdale, a winner in the Fashion Stakes as well as on the course thanks to his natty +4s, saw off the threat from three-time winner Ian Atto to claim the prize for the second consecutive year. Meanwhile, the England Golf Awards for 2021, sponsored by Adidas Golf, brought us 7 winners across 7 different categories. The online event honoured those clubs, counties and individuals who made a telling contribution to the game in the pandemic year. With competition for glory across all categories, it was hard to pick winners, but the judges opted for the following candidates. Club of the Year was Bush Hill Park Golf Club from Middlesex. Lincolnshire Scooped County of the Year. Amateur champion Joe Long walked off with the Performance of the Year trophy, while Barry Sears from Faversham Golf Club was Volunteer of the Year. The Sustainability Project of the Year, presented by STRI, was won by Cornwall's Whitsand Bay Golf Club, while Lily Walker was named Young Ambassador of the Year in an award sponsored by the Golf Foundation. Barbara Craven from Chester Golf Club earned the Lifetime Service Award. All the winners' stories can be found on the England Golf website. Host for the night Naga Munchetty did a sterling job comparing the ceremony, and later she spoke to England Golf's Ben White to offer her own tribute to the winners and explain a little bit about her own passion for the game.
So Naga, thank you for hosting the 2021 England Golf Awards. How did it go?
Pleasure. It's been a pleasure. It's been so lovely seeing people who love golf, love their golf clubs, love the game, and despite a really, let's face it, rotten year, have given everything they've got to keep their clubs, to keep their members happy, to keep the course looking good, and just to keep the spirit of golf alive. And yeah, it's been a really lovely evening.
I was going to say, after the difficult year that we've just had, how refreshing is it to talk about positive things?
Do you know, it's not just about being positive, it's about an example of resilience. And I've just had example after example after example this evening. And what was brilliant is there were virtual awards, which were always difficult because there's nothing better than meeting people face to face. Of course, we're human, we're interactive, we're sociable creatures. But what was great is just seeing that everyone appreciated every other club and what they've been doing and understood how difficult it's been in very, very different ways. But so supportive. You know, we're all competitive, we're all rivals, we all want to be the best greens, we want to have the best fairways, we want to have the best club nights, captains, whatever. But actually everyone's in it together, and that was what was so lovely tonight.
You speak about being competitive. You are a keen golfer.
Indeed.
Tell us how you got into the game of golf.
I got into the game because my husband had tried for a long time to get me involved in the game, and I refused. I said it was not the game for me. I don't look like your typical golfer. I certainly didn't then. I said it was a game for posh people, for old people, for men, and I gave it a go. And just because, as you rightly say, I am competitive, I decided to have lessons and do those to the best of my ability and go out and have a go, and kind of got hooked. And that was 12 years ago, I think. Haven't given it up since.
And once the bug gets you, it's difficult to let go. What's your strengths of your game, Naga?
Oh, up and downing. Never, ever discount me in a game. I may not get to the green in regulation, but I tell you what, I will par or birdie. And I will destroy you in match play.
Perfect. Well, Naga, thank you very much for hosting the awards. We really appreciate it. Best of luck with your golf.
Thank you, and you.
Well, that's it for this edition of the podcast, folks. Thanks to my guests Lauren, Graham, Will and of course Naga. And to you for listening in and taking time to catch up on all that's happening around the amateur golf scene in England. You can keep bang up to date with all the latest news by following England Golf on our social channels and also checking out the website. That's www.englandgolf.org. With an independent golfer platform on the horizon, plenty England Golf Championships on the go, and the season in full swing, there will be lots to catch up on in the next edition of the podcast. In the meantime, enjoy your golf and thanks for listening. Bye for now.